2 chapters left. This will be where the fight is, I think, and the last chapter is, well, the ending. Hopefully Nikolai, Riley, and Kevin stay in Equestria. God damn it. At least Nikolai and Riley. They're fucking awesome. And Kevin. Just let them all stay, goddammit. After leaving their new 3 allies behind to fight the last remaining changeling drones, the elements of harmony along with Princess Cadance made their way into the castle. What about Spock? As they entered, they were taken aback at the darkness that consumed the once vibrant, colorful palace. They gasped at the whole interior of the castle was all black, except for the windows giving off an ominous, eerie green glow. This interior is rather ghastly. Just ghastly, sorry. Rarity placed a hoof on her chest and made a look of pure disgust. Queen Chrysalis must really like that goth style of fashion. Blah! She shook her head in shame. Pinkie Pie slowly bounced behind the others. Yeah, she likes parties that are gloomy and not fun at all. It's called a, yeah. I'm just gonna stop right there. A frown crept across her lips. Twilight stopped trotting and turned to the others. All right, girls. Cadance and I will go search for the princess, and you 4 go look for Toby. And Spike? Fuck you. You're not here. She gave them a look of determination, and they nodded in agreement, setting off to find their child. I guess it's too dangerous for Spike, but so was the original Crystal Empire escapade, and, well, he saved the day, so. While hovering through the many darkened corridors of the palace, a faint cry could be heard. Huh? 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 Fluttershy gasped. Oh no, that's... What? Oh, I thought that was Fluttershy making weird sex noises. Fluttershy gasped. Oh no, that sounds like Toby's cry, she thought to herself. She shot off in the direction the cry was coming from. Don't worry, my baby boy. Mama's coming. Knife time! Fluttershy, hold on! Rainbow Dash shot off after her. Come on, y'all. We gotta go see where the little feller's at. Applejack looked at Verity and Pinkie Pie, and all 3 yelped off to catch up to the 2 Pegasi. After flying for what seemed like felt like an eternity to her, Fluttershy came upon the doors to the Celestia's bedroom where she could hear the cry more clearly. Toby? Are you in there, sweetie? She placed her head up close to the door to see if she could hear anything. With his head down and shuddering with a mix of fear and sobs, Toby could hear the voice of his mom. Mama? He weakly spoke as he looked to see Chrysalis still asleep. Tears stung Fluttershy's eyes as she heard the voice of her son. Toby! She fluttered backwards a few feet away from the door and charged forward, using her shoulder as a battering ram, but was unable to budge the door open. Gah! She winced in pain, shook her shoulder, and fluttered backwards again. Fluttershy, stop! Rainbow Dash shouted and flew up beside her. What in the hell do you think you're doing? You're going to wake... She was cut off by a loud cry. Mama! Chrysalis blinked her eyes open, letting out a yawn, causing Toby to immediately silence himself. She gave an evil grin as she thought to herself, let them come. She slowly stood up and enveloped Toby in her magic, causing him to tremble. On the other side of the door, Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy were continuing to ram into the door using their shoulders as battering rams, but still with no avail. If only you had like a bobby pin to pick the lock. Damn you ponies for not wearing actual ponytails with bobby pins. Applejack, Pinkie Pie, and Rarity came galloping up to see the 2 trying hard to break down the door. Let Applejack book it. He'll fucking go flying. They were about to ram it into it again until Rarity caught both with their tails in her magic. Rarity, let me go! My baby boy's behind this door! Fluttershy struggled in Rarity's aura and grunted with frustration. I know, darling, but we got to... She was cut off as the door slowly opened with a green aura surrounding it. Rarity let go of her magic around Fluttershy and Rainbow's tails as she swallowed nervously to see what was behind the door. Chrysalis's evil grin grew wider as the door opened, as she was staring at the 5/6 of the elements of harmony. She was standing on her haunches as the 5 mares trotted in carefully. Well, 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 looks like Celestia's precious ponies had come after all. She let out a low chuckle. Fluttershy stomped her hoof against the palace floor and looked at Chrysalis with a scowl of anger etched on her face. She stared daggers at the changeling queen. Where's my son, Chrysalis? She gritted her teeth and breathed heavily. The others furrowed their burrows. In determination and anger as they glared at Chrysalis. Ah, so the tasty little morsel is your son after all. She let out a sinister laugh and carefully trotted to the side, revealing the small, helpless, and shackled child to the floor. Fluttershy and the others gasped and looked of terror as crept across their faces. Oh, my baby! Fluttershy cried as she galloped towards him. When she approached him, she bounced back after, hitting an unseen shield. She winced a little in pain, but it reached out to see the shield ripple with green magic, and stared at Chrysalis with pure anger. What have you done to him, you monster? Toby weakly lifted his head to reveal his tear-stained face as he looked up at his mom and the rest of his family. They gasped and had tears of their own threatening to escape when they saw him in the condition he was in. He gave a sad smile and tried to scoot closer to them, but the weight of the shackles and chains were too heavy.
Mama, Auntie Rarity, Auntie Applejack, Auntie Pinky, and Auntie Rainbow. I'm so sorry.
He shuddered with sobs as he lowered his head back down. Fluttershy couldn't hold her tears in any longer. She allowed them to cascade down her cheeks and reached out to touch at the veil surrounding her son.
No, my precious little one. Please don't blame yourself for anything. None of this is your fault.
Her lips quivered with sadness as she looked at her son in shackles and chains. Aw, this is such a tender moment! Not! Crystal lit her horn up and shot a beam of her magic at the five. She blasted them against the wall of the room, causing them to collapse to the floor onto their stomach. She let out a lowly chuckle. Aw, and I thought the elements of harmony were supposed to be all-powerful.
No! Mama!
Toby screamed as he struggled in restraints, only to wince in pain, and cried out to Fluttershy.
Mama, please get up!
He started to tremble in fear as he watched his mom slowly and weakly get up along with the others. Fluttershy grunted and panted heavily, but looked at her son in both pain, both physical and emotional. She gave him a soft, reassuring smile.
Don't worry, my baby boy. Mama's okay.
The others shook off the pain of being blessed and looked at Crystal with a look of determination.
All right, you ruffian. If that's how you want to handle things.
Rarity flicked her mane, stood up on her hind legs, and raised her forelegs in a fighting stance.
But I'll be more than honored to rip you to shreds.
Applejack tilted her head and licked at her lips. Rarity's right, you no good scoundrel. You want to hurt a little nephew? You're going to have to go through us. She kicked her forelegs against the floor. Pinkie Pie stood in attack mode and growled.
Yeah, you meanie pants. No one messes with my little widowed nephew and gets away with it.
She snarled, furrowed her brows in anger. Rainbow Dash hovered in the air, looking at Chrysalis with strong intent.
Oh! Yeah, you hag! You hag!
Ooh, God!
If you mess with my little buddy, you better be ready for a good old-fashioned bucking.
She licked her lips and pounded her foreheads together. Chrysalis let out a simple giggle.
Well, this should be fun, then.
You fucked, bitch! Ugh. She quirked an eyebrow and lit her horn up, preparing to blast him with another beam of magic. I'm getting too into this. This is awesome. Toby looked on in fear, trembling and weakly struggling in his chains and shackles. The changeling queen looked over the helpless child and smirked evilly. Say goodbye to your family, little one. She let out a cackle and released her beam of magic.
No!
Toby screamed as he watched as the beam aimed for his family, and he struggled harder, only to hurt himself more. He cried in pain, lowering his head, afraid to see his family get hurt. Suddenly the beam bounced off the invisible child, ricocheted all around the room until it hit Chrysalis in her side. You fucking idiot. She let out a cry of pain, but shook it off quickly.
What? What happened? I never miss.
That's what she... Oh, no. She looked on in shock, but stopped her hoof against the floor in anger. That's what she said. Oh well. A sly laugh echoed through the room when a flash Discord appeared. Oh, shit. Is that the best you have, Chrissy? He looked at her with a sly smile as she stood in front of the mares. He looked over at Toby with a look of deep concern on his face. Don't worry, little guy. I will get you free. He snapped his talons to break the child away from his restraints, but to no avail. Discord looked on in shock to see that his magic didn't even break the shackles and chains. Oh, God. I'm legitimately interested in this shit. This is, my God. Chrysalis let out a loud cackle.
Even the almighty master of chaos can't even touch my magic.
You still missed. She lit her horn up, shooting Discord with it, and creating a chain from magic, wrapping it around Discord tightly. Now you be a good little Draconiquist and bow to your queen. She grinned wickedly, forcing Discord onto his knees with her magic and lowering his head.
See, goddammit.
Look at how much love Toby has. Fucking fill a whole factory with this. Discord growled with anger.
I promise you, Chrissy, you won. Ah!
Chrysalis used her magic to tighten the chains around Discord. The others looked on in shock at their friend being easily overpowered. No, he's bluffing. He's bluffing. Nope, he's faking it.
He's fucking Discord, goddammit. He's faking it. This is all my fault. She's strong because of my love for my family.
Toby fluffed himself as he just sat helplessly on his knees, trembling in fear and sadness, and shuddered with sobs.
You will call me your queen, you miserable waste of space?
Chrysalis stomped her hoof close to Discord. She looked over the broken child and smirked evilly.
You all want to disobey your queen?
Then let me show you what happens to those who disobey me. She lit her horn up and shot a beam of magic at Toby. Isn't there a shield? I guess it's all Chrysalis' magic can go through the shield. I don't know.
Ah!
Toby screamed in pain as Chrysalis shot him, causing him to shake convulsively in her magic. That's the worst scream of all time. Sounds like a sex scene. Fluttershy cried out, "Toby!" She turned to Chrysalis, staring at her with rage, and shot off at her. "Yeah, smile HD." Chrysalis turned to see Fluttershy coming towards her, but it was too late to defend herself when Fluttershy tackled her to the ground. She struggled underneath the enraged Pegasus, but found herself unable to kick off her. "Get off of me, you!" She was cut off when a hoof was forcefully shoved into her throat. "Oh God, I'm about to yell!" Fluttershy gritted her teeth, leaned her face down close to Chrysalis, and spoke with a guttural growl. "It's gonna be loud, so..." "You let my son go now, you monster! Let him go now, or I promise you will never see the light of Equestria ever again!" She pushed her hoof down hard into Chrysalis' throat, causing him to gasp for breath. She let out a sinister laugh. She gasped, "You think you can intimidate me, you little po?" She was cut off as she felt a hoof across her face as Fluttershy hit her hard. All right, I'll let the little morsel go," she coughed as she waved the hoof, causing the shackles, chains, and collar to immediately vanish away from Toby. "Is that really it? Yeah, that's an anticlimactic finish if that's it." However, Toby collapsed to the ground, breathing shallowly. Fluttershy gasped and got off Chrysalis to gallop over to her son with a look of fear and worry. The others galloped over to him as Fluttershy scooped his trembling body in her forelegs, cradling him close to her chest. She leaned her head down and nuzzled at him, tears flowing down her cheeks. "Please, my baby boy, stay with me. Mama's gonna make everything better." She hovered into the air. She looked at the others. "I got to take him to the hospital." They nodded in agreement. She flew towards the balcony until she ran into an unseen wall, which rippled with green magic. That's not it. She held Toby tighter into her as an evil cackle could be heard from behind. She turned to see Chrysalis, standing tall with a wide evil grin on her face. "Not so fast, little pony. Do you think you could get rid of me that easily?" The others stood ready to attack. Chrysalis grinned wider. "Let it be known that this day forward, that all of Equestria will learn to bow and obey at the hooves of Queen Chrysalis! The holy hooves!" Literally and figuratively. She let out a cackle as she lit her horn up to prepare and fire. "Who the fuck is... Oh, it's Nikolai! Not so fast, you witch!" The voice caught Chrysalis off guard as she looked around to have her gaze come upon Nikolai, Riley, Kevin, and the four princesses. Celestia had a smile of confidence etched on her face. "Wait, who the fuck? I don't care, it's Nikolai, I don't care." "Chrysalis, did you think it was easy for you to get rid of us?" It was probably Celestia, I don't care. Chrysalis immediately furrowed her brows in anger, but made a smirk. "Now every pony's here to fall off the hooves of me." She let out one loud last cackle, lighting up her horn and aiming it at them, until Nikolai stepped in front of them. Chrysalis looked at him curious. "And what do you think you're doing, weakling?" "Hey, he's Russian, you're fucked." Nikolai ignored Chrysalis as he closed his eyes for a bit. With a deep breath, he opened his eyes back up, and they appeared to be all black with a crimson-red star-like symbol where his pupils were. Tears were pouring from the edges of them, and suddenly Chrysalis' once green eyes turned the same crimson red as Nikolai's. Oh God. Russian voodoo magic. Chrysalis stood frozen in place. What's going on? I can't move. Is he a cockatrice? I know he's not, but that's funny. She was put in trance by Nikolai's stare. Fluttershy taught him that. He reached for his second katana that was in the holder of his hip. So it was a sword. It was a sword, not katana. The last chapter. Katana's are more badass anyway. Pulling it out and handed it to Kevin without taking his gaze off Chrysalis. "Kevin, do as I told you." Kevin nodded and grabbed the katana. "You got it, buddy." He turned to Chrysalis and galloped towards her, swiping the katana up and slicing half of Chrysalis's horn off. He galloped back over to Nikolai, who blinked, and his trance-like stare vanished. Chrysalis collapsed to the ground, screaming in pain. "Ah! What have you done, you miserable parasite?" Her horn cut in half, the chains around Discord vanished, and he stood back up, stretching out his snake-like body. "It's all done." Nikolai smirked. "Nothing, really. Just something I learned along my journey." He looked down at Riley, who rubbed between his ears. Oh, God. Earning him a lick on the hand, he looked at Kevin. "Good job, kid. Mother Russia would be proud." Kevin grinned sheepishly. "Thanks, buddy. But don't call me kid. You've been doing it for the last 6 chapters. 2, actually." The two let out a light laugh as they turned their attention back to Chrysalis, who lay on the floor on her legs, and her head lowered in defeat. Celestia and Luna trotted up to her.